Just recently, a brand new iPhone was presented. Millions of people have already bought this novelty, which has now a new design, 2 cameras and a bunch of cool features. Just like every year, people are waiting in huge lines to be the first to put their hands on the new Apple's invention. But it turns out that this is nothing compared to what some people are ready to do to get this gadget. So, here are 5 stupid things people did to get a new iPhone. Let's get it on. Selling his kidney. A 17-year-old high school student from the Anhui province in China wanted an iPad 2 so desperately that he decided to sell his kidney. The mediators to this trade, which he found online, paid him 22,000 yuan or $3,500. That was enough to buy not only the iPad, but also a new iPhone. However, this initiative resulted in misfortune. Soon he started suffering from renal insufficiency. His mother, once she found out, tried immediately to get back the kidney to solve the situation. In April 2012, all the parties to the transaction were placed in detention and accused of deliberate harm and organ trafficking. Also, it came to light that the criminals got $35,000 for the kidney transfer, while the teenager got 10 times less. Leasing his girlfriend. Another story about a crazy Chinese Apple lover. This guy elaborated a whole business plan in order to purchase Apple's latest gadget, with a girlfriend-sharing advertising board. He stood outside Zhongjiang University in Shanghai. He offered to rent his girlfriend at rather a reasonable price, from 10 yuan per hour to 500 yuan per month. However, he wasn't offering anything inappropriate, and that was also written on the advertising board. The lease taker could have lunch with the girl, sit next to her during class, play video games with her, or take her out, within the limits. The whole story immediately appeared in the media, but the enterprising Chinese claimed that his girlfriend was a willing participant of the scheme. Committing self-robbery. This crazy story took place in Russia, on the Kemerovo region in Siberia. A girl really wanted the latest iPhone, but her boyfriend had already planned the entire family budget and it didn't include a new smartphone. So the girl decided to commit robbery, but she wanted to rob not some random person. Hell no, she decided to rob herself. She faked breaking and entering in her own apartment. She threw around everything she could, and she took jewelry to sell it in a pawn shop. For more credibility, she even tore up her passport. During the investigation, the officers interrogated her friends and neighbors and found out nothing. But soon she got mixed up in her own story, which aroused suspicions, and after an interrogation, she turned from victim to suspect. Now, the resourceful girl is facing 6 years of imprisonment. Taking a loan on behalf of a dead person. This one also took place in Russia. A funeral service worker dreamt of buying a new iPhone, and he got lucky when the passport of a recently deceased old man fell into his hands. The genius gravedigger, without thinking it twice, went to the shop and bought the smartphone on credit. You might think that he would get away with it, but it all came out when the bank claimed interest from the dead man's family. Obviously, they went to the police because there was no way that the passport owner could get a credit. And now the new qualified iPhone owner is facing a few years in prison. Selling their daughter. In October 2013, an unemployed Chinese couple sold their daughter to buy a new iPhone. They put an offer online before the baby was born, setting the price at 50,000 yuan or $8,000. The labor took place at home, and immediately after that, the so-called parents handed the baby over to the buyer, who in return transferred the money to their account. In court, the couple insisted that they did it for the benefit of their daughter, just to provide her a decent life in a family that could give her a good education. But the officers decided to check their story, and it turned out that they spent all the money to buy an iPhone, fancy shoes, and a bunch of other non-essential items. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.